Hi friends of Jubilee Plus, and welcome to this week's Monday Mercy video. Any of you who know me or have heard me speak on mercy a fair bit will know that I often say that my favourite verse in the Bible is Luke 6 verse 36, where Jesus says, "Be merciful just as your Father is merciful." It's this beautiful, wonderful invitation to those of us who follow Jesus to put into practice the mercy of God, the same mercy that we've been shown, the same incredible, outrageous mercy that we've been shown that we didn't deserve. We get to roll it out to others. We get to be merciful just as our Father is merciful. But I also love the verse before it where Jesus says that actually when we do things like lend to people without charging interest, when we do good to even our enemies, when we actually copy Jesus and imitate his behaviour, it talks about then we will be children of the Most High God, and it says that he is kind to the ungrateful and wicked. I think that is absolutely incredible that God is kind to the ungrateful and wicked, because if I'm making a list of people to be kind to, then the ungrateful and wicked are not on that list. They're not at the top of that list, but to be honest, they wouldn't even really be on the bottom of the list either. They just wouldn't really feature at all in my thinking. But so merciful is God, so incredible is his mercy, that he is kind even to the ungrateful and wicked. And one of the things I've been reflecting on in the last few weeks, actually probably even the last few months, is that in the Bible, every single time that someone cries out to God in their distress, God answers. And there are some incredible examples of this where we might actually think, even in our frailty and in our humanity and in our sinfulness, that, yeah, I would be merciful under those circumstances too. So we're people who perhaps we naturally feel some sort of compassion or sympathy or empathy towards. I love to talk about Psalm 107 and the four groups of people, and some of the groups of people that cry out to God in their distress. I think, yeah, come on, let's help those people. But then there are other people, not just in that psalm, but actually throughout the whole Bible, who cry out to God in their distress, but it's really clear that actually their distress has come about because of their own bad decisions. Their distress has come about because they made bad choices. They were ungrateful and wicked. They did evil things. I was recently reading through 2 Chronicles, and there are so many kings who just were evil and wicked. And there's one, Manasseh, who actually killed his own kids, like he sacrificed his own children. He was an evil, wicked man. And it says that he cried out to God in his distress. And you kind of read it, I do anyway, and I think, well, of course he was distressed. Like calamity came upon him, but because that's why he cried out to God. He cried out to God because suddenly his life started to go wrong. Suddenly bad things started to happen. Suddenly he was distressed. And so he didn't cry out to God from this place of like pure seeking after the Lord. He didn't cry out to God from this place of, I just really want you, God. I want to follow you. I want to be holy. I want to be godly. I want to be righteous. I want to be like you. I want to please you. It was none of that. He was in distress because of his own actions. And yet it still says that God was moved and showed him mercy. And so often in the Bible we see that when people cry out to God in their distress, God doesn't seem to be saying, well, let's analyse the reasons why you're distressed. Let's see if you brought it on yourself or if it was actually circumstances beyond your control. Actually, God's heart seems to be moved time and time and time again when people cry out in their distress, even if they're in distress because of their own ungrateful and wicked actions. And I just think this mercy of God is so astonishing. And for me, though, there's this application for us, for those of us who are followers of Jesus. Will we meet the needs of those who cry out in distress, irrespective of how they got into distress in the first place? I feel like God challenges my heart on this all the time, and that's an ongoing challenge. And every time I think I've risen to the challenge, God challenges me further and further, and uncovers just stuff that's in my heart of where I'm not like him. So I just wanted to put out this challenge to all of us, myself very much included today, in this week's Monday Mercy, to say, when people cry out to us in their distress, is our question, how did you get in this mess? Or is our response, actually, let me show you the mercy that God has shown me every single time I've cried out to him in my distress? Have a great week.